Welcome to episode 14 of Insurance Investments All About Town podcast. I'm Eric Sporing, financial advisor, owner of ECS Capital Investments. To my left today is our healthcare insurance guru, Tara Lavelle with Von Fire Insurance. And to our right, our special guest today, Carman Booker with Bank 21.
Thanks for having me.
Welcome.
Welcome, Carman.
Thank you.
So here we are, episode 14.
Oh, yeah.
And as we shoot this, it's 9 o'clock in the morning. And I'm sure Brian still hasn't seen the episode from last month. Because I know he sent me this picture. He sent me a video this weekend of him in a deer stand missing this beautiful buck.
He is going to be so mad at
he
you
is
when he listens to this one.
But I had to throw that out there.
Oh, my goodness.
Because since he hasn't watched, I'm going to throw him under the bus for missing the big
man, there will be
That's fun.
heck to pay for that one. Sorry, honey.
So Brian, maybe you need to start watching our episodes so we don't make...
Maybe if we put hunting tricks, right? If we were like hunting tips, he would join in, listen. He'll watch a trail cam for hours. So
maybe he could be the special guest for hunting season.
We could, yes, bring him in.
There you go.
Look at the ideas.
You've been warned. So, we've had Bobby Hines on. You know Bobby well. We had Chief Munns on before that, which there was a connection as well. Tara had a connection with Chief Munns because their kids played sports together. With Bobby, you and I were talking about that beforehand this morning. My son played baseball with Bobby's boys. So, but I wanted to. Did you know about Carman?
Oh,
okay.
In her younger years, which she's still young.
Yeah.
In her younger years, she used to do stereo competitions.
Oh, wow.
What is a stereo competition?
Right?
This is funny. This is how I met my husband.
Oh, see, now I didn't know
I
that part of
don't
the
even
story.
know what this is.
Yeah.
So,
she
didn't know this was going to happen.
I didn't. This feels like Facebook stalking.
It's not Facebook stalking. This is what happens when you go to ribbon cuttings and you have conversations with the people
that's
at
true.
the ribbon cuttings.
In a nutshell, it's much more complicated than what is just driving down the street annoying you at the stoplights. These are sponsored, trailered for the most part, very expensive vehicles that are built scientifically to be as loud as possible. It's pretty fun.
How does one end up in a stereo
Well, you start by being the annoying kid at the stoplight.
Okay.
And then you go to shows and, that they have in your area. And
this is how you met Jason.
Yeah.
This is fascinating.
So it's kind of like how I met your mother. It's how I met Jason.
In a stereo competition. I hope you continue to dig up these interesting facts about our guests because that is fascinating.
I told Carmen I stalked her a little bit before and I said...
I had no idea this is where you were going, but it's great.
I like it. Wow.
So there you go. Little information that you didn't know about Carmen in her younger years. So.
I mean, sure. Just my younger years.
No,
she
still might do it. I don't know.
I was like, wait a minute.
So.
Don't check out my garage.
Well, today we're going to talk a little bit. I'm going to talk about why it's important to have a will and trust. Tara today is going to talk about some tips and tricks about open enrollment if you're in a employer plan. And then today Carman is going to talk a little bit about Bank 21. As we talk about, she's with Bank 21, but also she also is part of a great organization, Blue Springs Shop with a Cop. And we'll give you some time to talk about that today as well. So, but Tara, why don't you go ahead and kick it off and tell us some tips and tricks.
I am living, eating, and breathing open enrollment this time of year. So I'm actually going to hit on all three types of open enrollment. I originally thought we'd just talk employer, but every single day I'm helping somebody through some sort of open enrollment. So currently it is your Medicare annual enrollment period that runs October 15th through December 7th. I know we have talked about this over and over and over. If you're in that situation, meaning, you currently are enrolled in either a Medicare supplement or Medicare Advantage, this is your time throughout the year for you to make changes. So maybe you've undecided or you don't know, right? Is the supplement where I want to be, or do I want to consider Advantage? Now's your time to look at that and make a change. If you're in an Advantage plan, it's also time to review your Advantage plan. Those plans change every single year, with changes effective January 1st. So your networks can change, the benefits can change. Something as simple as a prescription formulary could change. So maybe previously you had an Aetna plan, but this year, who knows, a different carrier could make sense, right? So it's your time to really sit down with a professional and make sure you're still in the right plan for you. Marketplace is our next one, right? So we are still talking about the ACA marketplace. There is still a lot that really has not been settled. So still in the midst of a shutdown. But right now, if you reach out to a broker to look at rates for January 1, they currently include a subsidy. So be prepared that could change. So that opened November 1st. So if you're currently in a marketplace plan, you need to actively enroll this year, meaning you need to fill out your salary information, make sure all your demographic information is correct, go through the plans, make sure you know what works best for you, right? We're dealing with networks, we're dealing with deductibles, co-pays, all that fun stuff. And then employer plans. So January 1st, we've talked about this before, a really popular anniversary date for medical insurance benefits through your employer. That's because most people work from, fiscal year, calendar year, all the same. If you're currently in that employer plan, you're probably going through open enrollment right now. As we think about open enrollment and the things you want to look for in open enrollment, first thing you want to do is make sure you're aware of your options, regardless of whether you believe you're happy with your plan. So a lot of employers will offer dual option, triple option, so you may be able to enroll in either an HSA plan, right? Yep. Maybe there's an EPO option, which is an exclusive provider organization. And then there might be a PPO option. All of those options are going to have different deductibles, different co-insurance, different co-pays. So really deciding what works best for your family, whether that's what fits into the budget, what your risk tolerance is. Maybe if your employer is helping seed an HSA, that might be a good reason to enroll in an HSA. You just have to remember all those upfront costs up to your deductible are coming out of your pocket. So you're going to miss no co-pays to see the doctor. You're paying out of pocket until you reach deductible. Same with prescription drugs, so those are important. Like I said, understanding what those plan types are, asking questions. So your HR department, or maybe your company's small and you have direct access to the benefits broker. That happens sometimes for small insurers. They can, small businesses. They can help you work through that and help you figure out what fits for your family. Take advantage of any voluntary benefits. So voluntary benefits through your employer, typically, they can be things like dental and vision. Some of those the employer will contribute, others they won't. Often your employer automatically gives you life insurance, but maybe you can buy up. Maybe there's a voluntary option. Typically buying up to that max voluntary option, up to the guaranteed insurability limit is a great idea. You won't find less expensive life insurance anywhere else. Often with an HSA plan or a higher deductible plan, accident plans are offered. Those are voluntary, but those actually pay you based on a schedule depending on what kind of accident you've had. So it'll pay X amount of dollars for a broken bone, X amount of dollars for an outpatient surgery. So really reviewing what's available and how it fits to what you're currently doing, how you and your family use health insurance is your best option. I just tell people, don't just let it ride. Make sure every year you're reviewing it. And that goes for whether it's Medicare, whether it's Marketplace, whether it's employer. Make sure you're reviewing every year. That's it.
That's it?
Yeah, I was trying to keep it short, sweet, to the point.
Wow.
They are so tired of hearing me talk about health insurance. It's not even funny.
one thing my wife and I just went through her plan last night, and I noticed on there was, and something you didn't even mention was like short-term, long-term disability.
Yes.
I know that's not something you've talked about very much, but I found that where she works, it's offered, right? And so, as a matter of fact, they even pay for it, so it's included, I guess I should say. So definitely, I would say, check
short-term
that
and
too.
long-term, those are great plan options. So most often when we think about short-term medical insurance, the thing that comes to mind is maternity leave.
Yeah.
Right? And for small employers, if you're a staff of 4 or 5 and one of your employees goes on maternity leave and you aren't offering short-term disability, I can tell you a lot of times what I find are employers who feel bad, and they may make the decision to continue to pay the employee.
Oh, wow.
Right.
Because they feel guilty,
Right,
right?
not having it.
There's a better way of doing that.
Yeah.
It's called short-term disability.
Yeah.
It'll cost you a lot less. And then
Correct.
long-term, you just never know. Long-term is your paycheck protector.
Right.
So in the event that you become disabled for longer,
periods,
right,
yeah.
than your short-term, it can cover you for years as a paycheck protector.
Yeah. Okay. Good information. I know that's just not something that we've really ever talked about.
Yeah.
Was that so? Okay. You good?
Yeah, I feel good.
That's like record time for you.
Yep, I'm working on it.
It's great information, though. I'm one of those that really feels comfortable with all of the insurance. You know, it just makes me.
I think a lot of us are just autopilot.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So whatever we've done is what we're going to continue to do, and you just keep doing it.
It's an easy button.
Yeah, and there's
yeah.
always a balance, whether you're talking health insurance, auto insurance, right, business insurance. There's always a balance of cost and risk.
Right.
And there are people taking really low deductible plans and paying really high premiums because they're very risk adverse.
Right.
And there are other people taking advantage of these high deductible plans, using the triple tax benefit of an HSA because they don't utilize their plan, right? They maybe go to a doctor once a year. I mean, there's some investing the rest of what you might spend on those premiums and your HSA is a good argument to have with yourself. Like really analyzing how you use the plan.
And that's why someone like you is so important because that's a lot of information.
It is.
It can be overwhelming. So, well, once again, thanks for that great information.
Of course.
So today I was going to talk about, why it's important to have, a will and a trust.
I felt like you were long-winded, so I went short today.
Well, I'm not going to try to be because I want to clear the runway for our special
Yes.
You're
guest
saying
today.
I'm long-winded. I get it.
No, not at all. And there's one other thing I forgot about Carman. And I don't know if she still does, but she's an antiquer.
Oh, I am.
She's got a booth. She's got a booth at the Brass Armadillo.
No,
not anymore.
I'm at the Vintage Bee on 40 Highway.
Oh, 40 Highway. Okay.
Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah. So.
She has found 2 hard pieces. Like, I have a specific set of depression glass dishes that I collect, and Carmen sought out 2 pieces for me. I don't know, probably a year and a half ago, and added them to my collection. I've been looking for them for a long time, so she's great at seeking and finding.
I love it.
Yeah.
The hunt is so much fun.
The hunt is so much fun. Well, today, like I said, I'm going to talk about wills and trusts and why they're important. So I'm going to throw out some names here. What do these people have in common? Prince, the singer, Jimi Hendrix, singer. See the theme here. Abraham Lincoln.
Not a singer.
Definitely
not
not
a singer.
guitar playing. Okay.
Pablo Picasso,
Okay.
Howard Hughes, Martin Luther King. What do they all have in common?
Nobody had a will.
Other than
Guessing
they're
they didn't
dead.
have a
Nobody
will.
had a will.
None of them had a will or a trust.
Okay.
Wow.
I knew that about Prince.
Yep. Yeah.
But it was a big. I don't even know if it ever got settled.
So Prince, his estate was worth $156 million and was in limbo for 6 years.
Wow.
Because he did not have a will or trust. More than 45 people came forward as potential heirs to his estate, with one of them being a inmate that said that he was Prince's son.
Oh.
So, Jimi Hendrix, when he died in 1970, the fight over his estate took more than 30 years.
Goodness gracious.
Worth, and his estate was only worth $20,000 in 1979.
Wow.
A settlement in that case was finally reached in 2015, 45 years.
$20,000?
45 years after his death.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. Howard Hughes. He was worth $2.5 billion.
And no will.
No will or trust. His estate was worth $100 million to $250 million. He had no heirs. And let's see here. He had no immediate family. Claimants come out of the woodwork. After 34 years, the courts eventually awarded 200 immediate family members.
Equal portions?
I guess. It doesn't
That's
tell me
fascinating.
that. Yeah. And then here's one. Martin Luther King. He was worth $250,000 when he was assassinated in 1968. More than 50 years after his death, his family is still fighting over his estate.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Still fighting over his estate.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's why it's important to, kind of have a will. Picasso, who I didn't even mention, his portfolio was also worth millions. They fought over that for 6 years, racking up $30 million in
Just in like court fees?
court fees and stuff.
Wow.
That's
So-
why I was curious if that 20,000 still existed.
That's what I'm wondering.
Right.
Like that has to have been eaten up.
Yeah, but I mean, keep in mind, I think like royalties and all that stuff is still adding
Okay,
up.
that makes
and
sense.
So,
Yeah.
and $20,000 in 1979 with
Yeah.
maybe 100,000 in today's dollars. But anyway, so those people died without a will or trust. And so today, what's the difference between a will and a trust? I was going to talk about that. Let's start with a will. Will is a legal document that only takes effect after you pass away. Okay. And it can spell out, where your assets are going. If you have minor children who gets to take over, taking care of your minor children and pets. Technically, I know you've got some pets, who get your pets if you pass away. And your final funeral arrangements as well can all be done, by a will. Everything that is listed in a will usually has to go through probate.
Yep.
So, and that's kind of like we were just talking about. That's what's eating up some of those fees in some of those cases we were just talking about. That takes months, even years, as we just saw with no will or trust. It can take years, if you don't have, just a basic will. Right. Now, how's a trust different? There's several different types of trust, but we're going to talk more of a revocable trust.
Okay.
And then there's an irrevocable trust, or your main two types. Irrevocable is once you set it, it's set. You can't
even change it.
No, you can't even change it. I mean, it is what it is. Now, revocable trust, which is more common, you can, add things, change things to a revocable trust at any time that you want. You are still in control of the trust on the revocable trust, but trusts take effect immediately. So what it means is you can put your houses, bank accounts inside of the trust. So once you pass away, then the assets are inside of the trust. The key to that being inside the trust is you can avoid probate in most cases. Okay, so and then the assets can transfer to the individuals that the trust designates as as the people that are intended to get the funds. So, like I said, big thing is between the will and the trust is, there's no probate. Trust, there's more privacy because it's not going through the courts. When you have a will or no will, then let me rephrase that. Well, it doesn't matter with the will. It goes through probate. That's public, right? So anybody and everybody can see that. I just had a client that happened to didn't have a will, and the heir got the money, but we went through probate, and some creditors saw that it was going through and tagged on to it. So that's one of the big things about the difference between a trust and a will. It's just a trust is a little bit more flexible. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. I mean, obviously there's more to it, but one thing on a trust, you are the trustee, right? So you can, you have the power to change it whenever you want. Once you pass away, you have granted another trustee to the trust that will take care of everything inside the trust once you pass. So, but I'm just going to I'm here today to tell you, I'm not going to, you go further into the weeds, but if you haven't created a will or a trust, it's a great conversation you need to start having, with your spouse or, with your family about creating a will or a trust.
I feel like Brian and I had that conversation late, right? I mean, I think we've all learned at some point in time that, life is fragile and things happen to young people too. We were young parents with mortgage, and there was nothing in place until within the last year. And there was a lot out there at risk if something were, and we travel right. Together, right? Anything can happen at any time. So going through the process, you learn a lot about each other too, right? We hadn't talked about things like, final wishes and what our expectations were. So it was a good exercise. I think most of us avoid it because
they don't want to talk about it.
Nobody wants to talk about it. But I know when it was all said and done, we both felt so much better about it, knowing exactly that everything's in writing, done, taken care of, and our kids are. We know who our beneficiaries are. We know where everything's going, so we felt good about it when it was all said and done.
And you're in a different situation. Your kids were older, right? But if you're a young family and you've got kids, look, the state can dictate where your kids go. You've got Aunt Susie over here; it's a perfect match, and you've got Aunt Brenda over here, who's a train wreck, but the courts don't know Aunt Brenda from Aunt Susie, and they award it to Brenda, and because the courts can dictate where the kids go, things like that. So no, it's good. And look, they can be pricey, right? But it's the sound mind of having it in place.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. And then I think something that people don't think about are beneficiary deeds on their homes. So even if you're not going to have the will or the trust, which you should,
right.
You don't think about that, like having a beneficiary deed on your home, because you might have a beneficiary on everything else you own, but you didn't think about that for your home, and then you pass, and now your home is in probate, and your children who were living there now, so
limbo.
All in limbo. So that's it's something we see in banking all of the time.
I'm sure.
And we encourage beneficiaries at the minimum because we don't want the families to have to go through probate, because they're already coming in devastated and heartbroken, and now they may need whatever was left in your checking account to help pay for your funeral. And we can't just give that to them if they're not the beneficiary. So now it may have to go through probate, and it might take a couple of years, and then where does that leave them? So have that conversation with your person, because it's important.
It is important. You're exactly right. So, and unfortunately, you see that. I'm sure in the banking world,
all the time
that don't have beneficiaries or have that will or that trust. So, but anyway, that's all I had today. So,
that's good stuff.
All right.
Yeah, that's really good stuff.
Okay. Well, that gets us on to our special guest today. So I'll do a little introduction. A lot of people probably already know Carman, because once I finish this,
I'm learning about me, so I'm liking this.
So our guest today is, like I said, Carman Booker. She's a true leader in the finance and community banking industry with over 2 decades of experience as a senior vice president at a locally owned Bank 21 right here in Blue Springs. She's passionate advocate for small businesses and deeply involved in her local community. She's also a dedicated mentor and the current vice chairman of the Missouri Women's Bankers Association, actively championing women's professional growth. Honored as an Eastern Jackson County Woman of Distinction in 2024, please join me in welcoming the dynamic Carman Booker.
I love it. Well, thank you.
Yeah. So I'm going to piggyback on that, though, because I've got more. And she got here a little early this morning, so her and I were talking, and she's like, "Man, I'm just tired." I said, "I wonder why," because she didn't know I dug all this up on her. So Carman currently sits on the Blue Springs Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors. She was the chairperson of Blue Springs, that just ended here in May of 2025. Currently, the co-chair of the Blue Springs Chamber Leadership Program. Currently, the treasurer of the You Matter movement.
Oh, yeah.
Currently, the treasurer of the Blue Springs Citizens Police Academy Alumni Association.
My goodness.
Currently, she's a VIP. And
yeah.
she also currently is a member of the BCA networking group. No wonder you're tired. When do you sleep?
And I have a booth at the Bisbee.
Right.
And I have a full-time job.
And so
No,
you wear a
And
lot
she
of
makes
hats.
time for yoga. I know
I
that.
do,
She
yeah.
makes time
We
for
talked about
yoga.
that this morning
Yeah.
because, when you stretch yourself so thin, just in life in general, you have to have time for yourself. And so my 1 hour a week is yoga. Right here near their offices,
Right, yeah,
and that is my time for myself every week to decompress and unwind. So yeah. But I am honored and privileged to be able to do these things and to serve. And I get my servant's heart from my parents who were involved in many, many things, and I love it. It's my passion.
Well,
So.
obviously, as I said in the opening, you like your community. Love
I
your
do.
community,
I do.
so.
Blue Springs is fantastic.
So, if you could, I know you got a big backpack there with a bunch of hats in there, but if you could pull out that hat for Bank 21 and just give us a
Yes.
little bit, about Bank 21.
Absolutely.
It is locally owned.
Yeah.
And then if you'll put that hat away and then pull out your Blue Springs
I will.
Blue Springs Shop with a Cop.
Well, the best thing about Bank 21, I've been there for almost 11 years. So almost half of my career is with Bank 21, which is fantastic. And we are a fifth generation family owned bank, community bank in Blue Springs, and then we serve in Carrollton, Marshall, and Sedalia.
Yep.
So our charter is in Carrollton. The family who owns the bank is from Carrollton. And Tyler Knott is our fifth generation. He's our chair of the board, and he works here in the Blue Springs office. And he has lived in Blue Springs for a long time, owned a home here. And community banking it's local, so you can walk in and you have the owner of the bank in an office, and he's extremely approachable and wants to talk to everybody. And our president is there, and I am there, and we're there, and we want to be your bank, and we want to be your partner. And there's no, we have all of the same compliance as the big banks, but we can make local decisions, and we can make them right there, right then, and help people. All of the money that you invest with us goes directly into the communities that we are in. So that's something about community banking that's so fantastic is, every dollar that we lend out stays here.
Yeah.
So we are doing our best to help, grow Blue Springs or whichever, community that you're banking with us in. So.
Yeah, I know. I hear it all the time about Bank 21. I know, our BCA networking group that you and I are a member of. Every time, Bank 21 comes up, it's always they know your name. It's kind of like Cheers.
Yeah.
You walk in and hey Eric, hey Tara. I mean, it's they remember who you are.
Yeah.
And not to knock banks, but the big banks.
Yeah.
You don't get that in my eyes. I meant so.
Yeah. Well, thank you, because we really work hard on that, and that's the people who work for us are passionate about service, and so we have a whole customer experience program that that's our culture, and that's who we are, and that's what we want to be. Is we want you to feel welcome when you walk in. We want to know about you, and we care, and it's genuine. And come in and just have a cup of coffee. You don't even have to bank today. So yeah.
Well, cool. So, anything else that you want to about the banking world?
No. I know so little about the banking world, right?
Yeah.
But I come from a really small town in Oklahoma, and we had a local bank. The gentleman that owned the bank lived next to my grandma. I do understand that feeling. I guess I'm curious, how do the small banks compete?
Yeah.
With some of the larger banks, and how are you pulling people in, right? We're also ingrained. A bank change sounds like a big deal,
right?
Yeah.
So talk to me about how it isn't a big deal, right?
Yeah.
Tell me how easy it is if you wanted to bank with someone local?
Yeah, so we have all of the modern technology that the big banks do. So we offer all of those things because we know you. Even if you're walking in off the street, we're going to get to know you. And so then we can do things and we can communicate electronically, you know what I mean? Because knowing your customer is important. So, but we'll meet you where you are. One of the things that we really pride ourselves in is if you can't come into the bank, we'll come to you. We'll come to you. So if I am working with a business here in town, I know that it's important for you to be running your business. I can come to you and we can do everything in your office. You don't have to come to us, or we can do things over the phone or through email. So we want to make it as convenient as possible. We just in our rural communities, it's harvest season. So we just had a situation recently where we had a customer and he needed to sign some documents to do some things, and they went out to the field and met him on the combine, and had him sign them there, because we understand that you have life to live and you are doing things, and that's what makes us different. Is we understand that, we respect that. We're a small business ran by a family, so we really get that. And if you are, a lot of times it's hard to switch, your direct deposits, or Social Security is a big one, right? We're happy to sit with you and make those calls, or to do what we can to help you do that switch. We can't do it for you because of privacy laws, and they need to know that you really want to switch that. But we'll help you make those calls. We're happy to do that and to just take that burden off if we can. So
not going to see that in the banks.
No, you're not.
Well, that's great. Like I said, growing up in a small town myself, I know what small town, bank
I'm learning that about
like.
you guys. I mean, I grew up in a really small town in Southwest Missouri. So
don't even get me stuck.
I would say we're all from pretty small. I know his community is smaller than mine, so I grew up in a town of probably 1,400. Yours is
500.
Yeah.
Oh, mine's 500.
Yeah.
Like that.
Big city girl, I guess, compared to you guys.
You are.
It's my graduating high school class.
Oh, we had double.
See, you're not small. I'm small.
But it's that small town feel, right?
Exactly.
And that's what I love about Blue Springs. I mean, we are that small town feel in a large community.
We are.
And
I agree.
I love that about Blue Springs so much. So I'm happy to be here. But like you said, wearing that banking hat, something that Bank 21 really strives to do is be active in our communities, which is why I am afforded the opportunity to go out and be a part of all of these groups. All of that is related to and encouraged by my employer,
which is nice.
Which makes it easier for me to be able
to go do
these things. And it's because we're passionate about our communities and we want to serve, and we're all encouraged to serve, to find something we're passionate about and serve while on the clock even. So
that's great.
Cool.
So the big thing you wanted me to talk about, Shop with a Blue Springs Cop.
Yeah, let's. I'm familiar with it. I was in a networking group years ago, BSBL, and I asked you before today if you were part of that group. This is probably before the Blue Springs Shop with the Cop was really as big as it is now. Our networking group actually did what the Alumni Association does. We went and helped wrap presents and do all that. So I've seen it, and I think it's a great organization. But tell us a little bit about Blue Springs Shop with the Cop.
Yeah, so I am really fortunate to have taken the Citizens Police Academy class with the police department. And then after that, you're automatically an alumni, right? But if you want to be more involved, then you can join the Alumni Association. And what that means is just attending meetings if you can and volunteering where you can. And what we do is, the biggest thing we do is organize the Shop with the Blue Springs Cop program. So we are working on that right now. So we started a couple of months ago working with the school district to identify families who have that need, kids that want to learn or pair up with a police officer and do some shopping. And so we fund that, we organize it, and make the whole day magical for the kids. So a few more details. So we last year we had 25 kids and we served we shopped for over 180 individuals because
Wow.
It's the families too, right?
yeah. So these kids come in, and I'll set it up a little bit. So we pre-shop for the kids, which is really fun. They don't know that they're getting gifts, so we have pre-shopped for them. We've talked with their parent or guardian. We know what they like, what they want, what they need, and so we've already pre-shopped for them. We've wrapped it. It's ready to go. When they come in that morning, they are partnered up with their police officer. Sometimes the officers bring their families, and it's just a really cool experience for everybody. And they meet, we feed them all the things you can imagine, and they take a picture with Santa, and then we load them up on school buses, and the drivers volunteer their time. They decorate their buses. The Blue Springs School District is just amazing. And then they take the kids to Walmart, and Walmart's our partner, and they allow us to come in and just take over the store basically and shop. And they have about an hour and a half to shop for their whole family. And we've given the police officer a list, and it's very organized. And but the kid gets to pick out the gift, within the list and the budget, and then they bring everything back and work together to wrap it. And then at the end, when their parents come to pick them up, we surprise them with their big bag of gifts too. And so they get to load their car full of, tons of gifts for their whole family, but they get to shop for everyone in their immediate family. And some of these families have, maybe it's their grandma and their parents, so, but we want everyone to feel involved and have a good Christmas. And it just creates a really fun and magical experience. So that is coming up in December, and we're really excited about it.
So are there specific fundraisers involved, like that lend to, how it's funded throughout the year?
Yeah, so our largest fundraiser is we do operate a fireworks tent here in Blue Springs.
I have volunteered.
Yes, you have.
A hot day.
It is a lot of work. It is very hot, and thank you for volunteering because it is a lot. That's our largest fundraiser, so shop with us. We are changing locations this year because the place that we typically use may begin to be developed. I don't know all of that.
Nice.
But so we're seeking out a new location. We think we know where we're going to go. So to watch us on Facebook for that. But that's our biggest fundraiser. We hosted a bingo event last year, which was a lot of fun, and raised some money there. But we're really fortunate, through the fireworks tent that we're able to fund Shop with the Blue Springs Cop. And then we also fund other things that the police department may need. So the Girls on Fire program, the Life Sports program, we help, we issue grants for those. And then the Live 911 system that the police department has currently, we helped fund that. And then this year we're purchasing or giving a grant for them to purchase a quarantine tank for the animal control. So if they get in an animal that may be sick and they don't want to, it's such a small facility, they don't want to spread that, it has its own, they said, think of it like a giant incubator. So it's just it has its own airflow and intake and all the things, but they can keep that animal there while they're getting it healthy, and then they don't expose everybody else. So that's one of the things we're helping with this year. So yeah, it's a great program. But if you haven't taken the Citizens Police Academy class, you definitely should sign up. It's awesome.
Neither one of us
have done it.
You haven't? Oh my gosh, it's so much fun. It is so much fun.
Chief Monk's kind of hit us up on that too.
One of these days we're just going to show up on the list and have to go.
It's great. It's
I have heard really good things
you learn
about
so much, and we have, we just have a really great community. A lot of great community leaders, and the police department is definitely one of those. So
is there a way to, if someone wanted to donate specifically to?
Yeah, so our website is bscpa.org, and there's a donate button there. So
great.
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay.
Or we'll definitely take, we have a lot of wrapping paper, but we can always use tape, bows, and boxes and gift bags, because when you're trying to wrangle all the kids and everybody's trying to wrap presents fast and furious, bags come in really handy, tissue paper, things like that. So yeah, we're always taking those things.
And is there a drop-off spot for those? Or
Bank 21's a great drop-off spot.
There we go. Look at that. Do they know they're a drop-off spot?
They will when I get back. But yes, we're happy to take that. So
okay.
Cool. Yeah, you hit everything, man. I had the website donation, everything. That's no, you're fine.
Great.
That's awesome.
Thanks, guys.
So making sure we hit that. The one thing I wanted to touch on real quick is how long has Blue Spring Shop with the Cop been going on? Do you know?
I don't.
The last thing I remember,
did you
it's
find?
close to 15 years.
Yeah, I was going to say that sounds about right.
Because I was thinking back to when my networking group started. I mean, it was very new at that point, the Blue Spring Shop with the Cop. So I didn't know if it was.
Yeah, I know it was several years ago because I've been helping out for a long time now. I think the police department partnered with the Alumni Association to say, hey, how can we make this work? And then even speaking with the officers, it's really great to hear from them how, they go to, different conventions and things like that, and they speak with their peers.
How they're
and they're like, we get to brag about how our community is so supportive, and the Alumni Association is so supportive, and they're like, we just get to show up and have fun, where these other departments have to do all themselves. So pretty proud of that.
Well, great information. Like I said, great program. Please, if you can, go out to the website and donate. It's an awesome program. Like I said, I've seen it firsthand, and it is amazing seeing those kids.
I bet.
And they're rapping.
It's magical. It really is. And just creating that relationship between the kids and the officers, so they know that that is a safe space, that the officers are there for them, and just helping build and bridging that gap between the police and the community. But man, it's a magical day. It's so much fun.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I forgot to do my little did you know?
Oh,
I did.
The did you know went beyond Prince and Jimi Hendrix?
You did. So, but that's all right. So, I'll throw one out.
Okay,
there.
You throw one.
I'll throw one. I always do little.
Okay, I love it. Let's go.
Yeah. So, we know time to regroup.
Okay.
Heading into their Week 8 bye, the Raiders were shut out 31-0 by our Kansas City Chiefs. She's a Steelers fan.
I am not.
Oh, your husband?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Brian's the Steelers fan.
So not for you, Brian. It was 31-0 by the Chiefs in one of the most lopsided games in NFL history. The Raiders generated only 95 yards of offense, which was 5 fewer than the Chiefs had on their opening drive of the game. The Raiders also only ran 30 offensive plays the whole game. The Chiefs had 30 first downs the whole game.
Wow.
So anyway, time for those Raiders to regroup.
We have a bye week this week.
We do have a bye week this week. So coming off our losses.
The big L.
Yep. Hey, we all know that we beat them in the,
All right, they can have the regular. They can have the regular.
It's a pattern, and we're okay with it. Okay with it.
That's right. Yep. So, but this we're going to throw out a little bit of some December events happening around Blue Springs.
All right.
Let's start over, Tara. What do we got going on in December here?
I did some digging. I did some digging to see what we could find that was going on in and around Blue Springs. So, if you missed Trick or Treat Main Street, which I did not, always a very fun event. And while I was there, I learned that the Blue Springs Ballet does the Nutcracker every year, and it is their largest fundraiser. So you can log on to their website, purchase tickets. Also found out that we do have a North Pole mailbox.
We do.
We do. It will be located at the Field House.
Okay.
From November 24th through December 18th. So you can get your letters to Santa in the appropriate place. The mayor's tree lighting is going to be December 2nd. Tuesday, December 2nd from 5:30 to 7 over at Rotary Park. That is also where you will find the Trail of Lights. So if you did not do Trail of Lights last year, it is free.
Okay.
It's beautiful. You take the trail around Rotary Park. Some of us may call it Railroad Park. That's what my kids have always referred to it as. We have the mayor's tree. It's a beautiful light display. Lights are turned on Monday through Thursday, 5 to 9. Friday through Sunday, 5 to 10. And you can meet Santa. Friday and Saturday nights from 6 to 9 before Christmas.
Oh, really?
Yep. I said that's 12/2 to 12/30, right? So 2nd of December through the 30th of December. And then Christmas on Main was just announced for Saturday, December 6th from 2 to 8 p.m. You can expect food trucks, craft vendors. They're going to have photos with Santa. Here they will have carolers. That has become a tradition in my family to make sure we hit up Main Street for Christmas. Typically what is the name of the mansion that I cannot think of that sits right there on the corner, the historical...
Oh, the Dillingham.
Dillingham.
Yes, that's typically decorated for Christmas, and you can do tours. It's just a really great time. I love it. Anytime our community comes together on Main Street and there is an event, people come out in droves, and it is always just such a great time. So if you're looking for something to do this holiday season, there are plenty of things going on in Kansas City, but don't forget that we really do have a lot going on right here in your hometown of Blue Springs.
Yeah.
Yep, agree. So, well, thank you for that information. Anything else to add?
No. Thanks for
to
having
add
me.
to this podcast?
No, I think it's good. I thought about hot seat, but man, we've been here a long time today, so I'll say that.
Yeah, I forgot about. You got off easy. We forgot about the.
Man.
We already learned a lot about her already.
We did.
So.
I was
Put her
going
on
to
the hot seat.
ask, like, have you ever been in a stereo competition? So you ruined my hot seat question.
So, yeah.
Yes, I have.
So, yeah. So we already put her on the hot seat enough. So,
We did.
Yeah, well, that's if you're new here, this is your first time watching our podcast, you can find past episodes, obviously 1 through 13, out on YouTube at ECS Capital Investments. Do you have a site you posted on? Was it Bonfire?
Yep.
On Facebook.
Bonfire Solutions on Facebook.
On Facebook. It's another place that you can find it as well. So, well, that's going to put a wrap here on episode number 14. I'm Eric Sporing with ECS Capital Investments, Tara Lavelle with Bonfire Insurance, Carman Booker with Bank 21, locally owned right here in Blue Springs. We'll see you guys episode 15. Have a great day.